Hi, welcome back to my channel. So I want to talk about Raneka and Asonta and Savannah and Jake in this video. So let's start off with Raneka. So she was all excited because it was finally almost time for her to go pick up her man, Citrus, aka Asonta. So she decides to drive to this hotel and she's going to stay the night there so she can be right by the prison. And so it's the day before she's headed to the hotel, and she decides that she's going to try to call Asonta and figure out all the plans, like once he gets out. And she calls Asonta, and it says that the phone is disconnected. So she's calling over and over again, and it's just saying the exact same thing. And it sounds like he blocked her. So Raneka was getting really anxious, and she was just blowing him up back to back, getting the same response that the number had been disconnected. And if I was her, I would have asked one of the producers or crew members to use their phone, or at least *67 his number, because that way if it would have went through, then you would know that he ended up blocking her. So she decides that her next step is to call the prison to see if he's been released. So she calls up, and she finds out that Asonta had been released, and not only that, they informed her that he'd been released the day prior. So after Raneka found that out, she's still on the phone with the prison worker, and she's like, effing yesterday, then where the F is he at? Where the F is he at? And he's probably at his main chick's house, but it was just super awkward, you could tell, for whoever was working at the prison who was on the other end of the phone. Like, they're straight getting screamed at. And they're just like, man, lady, I don't know what to tell you. He was released, and that's all we know. So she gets off the phone. She decides, you know what? Why the hell am I driving when I don't even know if I'm going to go there and he's even going to meet up with me, because he's already been out for the past 24 hours and I haven't even heard from the dude. So she decides to pull over at a truck stop because she's in the middle of nowhere. So now she's just sitting here looking dumb, doesn't know what to do, but she realized that she has one last option that she can pursue. So Asonta in the last episode, you know, he informed Raneka that he wasn't going to be getting straight out of prison, but he caught additional charges, so he was going to have to get transferred to jail and pay a $3,000 bond before he could get out. And Raneka didn't have that type of money, so Asonta talked to one of his family members, and they assured him that they would come through and pay the $3,000 and help Raneka get Asonta out. So Asonta, the last time Raneka talked to him, he gave Raneka one of his family members' phone numbers and was like, okay, contact him tomorrow. You guys can figure out all the details on how to meet up, you know, to bomb me out. So Raneka calls this family member, and he said that he didn't know anybody by the name of the dude that Raneka was asking for, the name of the dude that Asonta had shared with her that this family member went by, and he acted like he had no idea what was going on, and he's like, I'm sorry, you had the wrong number. So Raneka was not about to let this dude off so easily. She was pressing this dude over and over again. She's like, what you mean? What you mean? Are you sure you don't know him? And the dude was like, I don't know what to tell you. Just like the guy on the phone with her at prison. He was like, look, I don't know what to tell you. So honestly, I'm not buying that this dude had no idea what was going on. I bet that was probably his friend, and he probably went and bonded Asonta out the day prior with his main chick, and he's just, you know, trying to have his friends back and not going to tell Raneka. At this point, Raneka just needs to take the L and go home at this point, because it sounds like she just got ghosted by Citrus. And man, she just should have listened to her family, because her family warned her that this was going to happen. They tried to tell her, what if this is all jail talk? What if you're one of multiple girls? And that's exactly what it looks like is happening. And it just seems like Raneka was just a girl for him to have on layaway, a backup plan, if you will. And while we're talking about guys keeping girls on layaway, I also want to talk about a couple that I haven't really talked about much this season, and that's Savannah and Jake. So Savannah, I don't know. I'm just not buying that Jake is feeling Savannah at all. I feel like he's just using Savannah as somebody to help take care of him while he's in prison, and somebody to help pass the time, because the way he talks to her, it does not seem like he's feeling her whatsoever, and you can tell she cares a lot about him. So in this episode, Savannah is trying to get close with Jake's family because she kind of sees them as her future family. She looks at Jake as somebody that she wants to get married to, start a family with. So she wants to get to know her future mother-in-law ASAP, even though Jake really isn't entertaining the idea of getting married to her, but we'll get more into that here in a second. But she's super heartbroken because she feels like Jake's mother isn't showing any interest in getting to know her. And Jake also is up for possibly, as I can't remember what it's called, but where they could possibly see about reducing his sentence. So Savannah is hurt because she feels like Jake's family really isn't putting much of an effort trying to write letters to the judge to help get him released. And she's wondering if one of his family's members possibly sabotaged him getting out by writing a letter talking negatively about him. So she's super hurt that she can't get in touch with his mom. She's calling his mom back to back. And since the mom's not answering, she decides to go see for herself and pull up, well, not pull up in the driveway, but she drives past the mother's house and she sees the mother's car outside the house. So she decides to call the mother some more. Like, she's blowing up this mother back to back. And I would be freaked out if I was the mother too. As somebody that I don't really know like that is calling me that much. Like, just call once, leave a voicemail or leave a text message and be like, hey, I called, you know, call me back if you'd like. But just leave it at that. Don't just keep blowing her up and blowing her up, because that's just gonna leave her with a bad taste in her mouth. So she ends up calling Jake, who told her not to call his mother and to leave his mother alone and not drive by her house. And when she informed Jake that she had indeed done all that stuff, which is too much. It's stalker behavior. You know, if the mom sets a boundary and doesn't want anything to do with Savannah, I know it's hard, but she just has to accept that right now. If she keeps pushing it and pushing it, like I said, the mom's just going to have a negative association with Savannah. And so Jake was mad. He got pissed off when she told her, and he's like, I don't know why you would do that. And she's like, look, I'm trying to get help to get you out. I'm spending all day working my butt off to help you. I guess you just want to sit in prison for another few years. And Jake was like, well, look, I've already pretty much accepted that I'm going to be in prison until 2028. He's a realist, and he's already tried applying multiple times to get out of prison early, and every single time he gets denied. So I think he's one of those people that he just kind of expects the worst, and you know, that way he's not disappointed. Because I can understand if you get your hopes up for something, like you think you're about to get out and then you don't get out, it already sucks being in prison as is, but then having to deal with that disappointment in prison, I can't imagine. I just feel like he's kind of accepted that. Savannah doesn't want to accept it though. I think the family has accepted it too, and that's why they're really not entertaining the idea of writing this letter. So this girl, I swear, she brings up marriage as much as Letitia says husband, and Jake is not entertaining it at all. Savannah keeps trying to press him to have a prison wedding, and Jake made a really valid point. He said, look, I don't want our special moment to permanently be tied to this place. And I've never heard a prisoner say it like that, but I think that's really smart, because a lot of people, you know, you just want to get out of prison. You don't want to look back. You don't want to forever look at your wedding photos and see yourself in a jumpsuit in front of a brick wall. So Savannah was like, hey, well, how about when you get out of prison? And Jake was like, I'm going to need some time. And like I said before, I don't think no prisoner should be rushing to get married as soon as they get out of prison. I don't care if they're with somebody for 10 years. I think they need to get out and find themselves in the free world and decide if they want to be a married man in the free world, because we've seen time and time again, so many guys get married in prison or get married fresh out of prison. And then they realize, you know, this faithful and this, you know, being a husband stuff, this really ain't for me. And next thing you know, they're cheating and they're being a little hoe out in these streets because they didn't have a chance to get it out of their system because they rushed and got married as soon as they got out. Then Jake even told Savannah that he wants to see other people when he gets out. And if I was Savannah, I would be like, bye, Felicia. I'm not going to waste no more time wasting my time waiting on someone who wants to possibly see other people when they get out, when I've been holding him down for all this time. Man, I would have been so heated if I was Savannah. Like, I've been sending you ramen noodle money every single week, and you've had all the time in the world to tell me that, but now you're randomly springing this on me? No, no, no. Then he tried to make it sound better, like, well, don't you want to see other people? Don't you want to see, like, other girls? Well, if she wanted to see other people, then I don't think she would be wasting her time waiting around on an inmate. I think she would be seeing other people right now while she's not, you know, while she can't get none from you while you're in jail, if that was the case. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you check out my small business at AccordingtoAmber.com, where I sell multiple different styles of lashes and lash products. I'm wearing the H12 lashes here, and these are my best sellers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.